as we switch gears over to Kristy's session. In fact, Kristy's session is a slightly more broader point of focus from what we were talking about in conflicts. And I just really want to introduce Kristy with a video that she has sent us for her introduction. But for those of us that are uninitiated, I believe that it's also good to explain who Kristy is. Kristy is the founder of the Signature Network, and she's done amazing work when it comes to the logistics space. And I think more will be explained through her video. So can we just queue up Kristy's video, please? Okay. Awesome. Okay, we can't hear the audio.
We can't hear it.
Just give us a moment.
Kristy Guo, founder, president, and owner of Signature Global Network, SGN, an award-winning Chinese-born Australian. With more than 2 decades of experience in the corporate, leadership, and logistics world. She is also an influencer, speaker, coach, and author of the Amazon top-selling books Changemakers and The Joyful Leader in You. Kristy is a very enthusiastic and significant female leader, well known for her passion, positivity, and unique personality, which brings light, power, and energy to people's lives. By the year 2023, she has been featured in more than 10 well-known global magazines, such as Forbes, World Leaders, CIO Views, ITJ, The Maritime Executive, and many more. Has been approached by more than 60 global magazines to feature and recognize her achievement and influence.
Right, and with that, Kristy, welcome. Thank you for being so patient and sitting through our pre-mixer and the conversation. I hope you found the sessions helpful and informative. We're excited to actually have you. I know it's very late into the evening there. It's probably early in the morning, and you've got this amazing smile. So thank you for joining us. And without further delay, I think let's just jump right into it. And I'm going to bring Mary on board so she can have this conversation with you. So Mary, it's over to you.
Thank you also, Kristy. Sorry, Dipti. Thank you also, Kristy, for your time. And really, I appreciate also with the time difference and with our other speakers also, Gilbert, Sunila, and Kristy. I want to do like this nice combination of networking and logistics. So we are here all together. Let's just listen to Kristy and how we can just move this conversation combining the networking and the logistics leadership. Okay, thank you, Kristy, and we are here to listen.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. First of all, it was really insightful time I've been here observing, listening, and Gilbert is really, really experienced, and also Selena. I love all the conversations, so thank you. And start from now, you need to remember it is my 2:50 a.m. I don't usually speak throughout this time. We're just sleeping, so you guys kind of like in my dream right now. So whoever's here the second day, I mean, you were there first day, I think you can type 1 on the chat just to make everyone let me know that you're interactive, and because it's all about a workshop, it's not just about our speaking, it's about everybody's here. We are all having the same goal and to have the same dream about leadership, and we want to influence and make a difference to this world and the next generations as well. So what a commitment. If you are here second day, I mean the second time, you can type 1 and well done. So give yourself a round of applause, I would say, because it's not real, it's really a commitment, guys. And as you can see that about a big background about me is, thank you so much for playing that video. My team has made that video. I appreciate. It's not about me today, guys. It's about us and about the future. So the reason why I'm here is to, first of all, of course, support things with good course. And Mary, congratulations on stepping to a new area and to contribute your part to the future. And it's a very, it sounds like a small step, but it's a big step for definitely the future, and people who need to hear from you and need to hear from more people. We need someone like Mary to coordinate and to get things done. So thank you, Mary. And the second reason is why I'm here is because I'm very passionate about people. And as Gilbert and Sunina, everybody who shared the insights, we're not talking about things right here. We're talking about people, because people is a key to any industry, to the world as well. So wherever there's people, I'm happy to be there, even though it's 2:51 a.m. in Australia right now. And SGN, quickly, we are a network, but Mary is right. It's never about competition. And we are focused also on serving logistics people and leaders. And we're embracing innovation, ideas. As long as there's new ideas and something that can help those people in the industry, particularly the leaders, will be there, will serve, will help. So yeah, it's amazing that we can come together, not as competitors, but really as a family of the world, the global world, and in the logistics world. So this is a beautiful thing to see. So again, thank you, Mary, for making this happen. And in my speaking authoring career, leadership has always been my passion focus. Today, I want to unpack leadership into 10 is a lot, but I'll be very quick, 10 essential joyful leadership tips. As you know, I read a book called Joyful Leader, and it's the best-selling book on Amazon, which is probably across a lot of categories. And it's very helpful. Yesterday, I think this week, I received feedback about the book that it's really different than whatever the leadership books outside there. And I'm very glad to be here, because finally I can share something that is truly probably not mentioned, and it can really help you guys and equip you guys to be the leaders and also to make new leaders as well. So first, but the foremost, I want to share a story, which is Martin Luther King. You guys all know this leader, right? Amazing leader, Martin Luther King. Yeah. If you want to type 1, that means you know about him. So he has this speech, which has impacted me a long time ago, since I started my uni, and I have a dream, right? You all know this speech, I would say. If you don't know, it's okay. You can search and find out. So the reason why I mention this story is his speech. I have a dream impacted millions of people. And back then there's no mobile phone, or the news is not as easy to be known, but there are millions of people who took a train or walk a long way just to went there to listen to him, right? So why did that happen? Why they're so passionate about a guy? Is he good looking? I think he's okay. It's not that, I'm not saying the good looking is a reason, but there's a reason, because it's really because everybody went there because everybody has a dream, and it's all for themselves. They didn't go there just because Martin Luther King is a good looking guy or he's a good leader. It's simply because everybody have something in them in common that they want to achieve and they believe, right? So from the story, I want to say that wouldn't we all agree being a leader is to be the one who can inspire, empower, and motivate people around you, and influence as well, right, guys? And life is short. It's never about just living a short life. It's more about living a meaningful life. And there is a saying that dying isn't scary, but without purpose, it is scary. Living without purpose is scary. So in my career, I'm always a leader of leaders, and not sure why it seems people just are attracted in life are all leaders, and they will great leaders. They have great leadership skills, but the most importantly, they will have the heart, just like you guys. You're here the second day because you have a heart of leadership. It doesn't matter what you know, how much you know about leadership. It doesn't matter, but it does matter if you have a heart to serve and to be a leader or to care about leadership, because that's all about it. When you hire someone, you don't just say, you need to have all the skills and I'll hire you. No, if you have the heart that you want to grow, you want to learn, yes, come be part of the team. That's the key. So I want to share the 10 things now. First of all, number one thing is I want to share a story of my past, which is quite an emotional one, but if you didn't know me well enough, in fact, when I was born, in a family, I was suffering about the domestic violence, which isn't to me, but my dad, who was always drunk, and he will hit my mom, and it was really heartbreaking. And people couldn't imagine that I'm a very joyful person, how I had such a past, right? It was really, yeah, when I looked back, I was crying. Sometimes I need to hide crying in my bedroom. I didn't want anybody to know what's happening to my family. And my dad, I believe he's struggling. He has his own suffer, and he got drunk, so he did that. No, the reason why I'm sharing this vulnerable story is because I want to tell you that number one thing I want to share about the leadership and the joyful leadership tip, and it's super important, is you have a choice to make, right? It doesn't matter what happens to you in life. It doesn't matter that how you respond to your life. And that's one of the most important things in the leadership. If you guide someone, or if you guide anyone, one thing you tell them, hey, things will happen. Sometimes there will be storms, sometimes there will be floods, no matter what happens in life. But the most important is about how you respond to your life. And to me, I always say to everyone, I believe everything happens not to me, but for me. So whatever it happens, there's a reason. I can always take advantage of that story, or take advantage of what happened to me. I can grow. I believe everything just happens for me, so that I can grow better and better every single day. I can be stronger and more resilient. And that's the number one thing. You need to remember, things are not just happen to you, but just happens for you as well. Now, to conclude, the number one thing, I also believe that we need to take the full 100% responsibility for the decisions and the people around us. And that is truly the leadership skill we need to have. And of course, I would say one thing, a story, you guys will be traveling around the world, right? Gail, you're traveling right now in Colombia. And one thing I would ask you, when you go to the airplane, they demonstrate about, where the mask can stand, right? Will you put on the children next to you first, or you put on yourself first? The question, right? You can type the chat, right? Maybe someone say, yeah, all my kids first. Of course not. It should be on yourself first. So being a leader yourself, one thing as well is you need to take care of yourself. I mean, you need to lead yourself, because if you cannot even lead yourself, how can you lead others? So number one thing, make sure you also remember, take care of yourself, lead yourself as well. And the next point I want to share quickly is, I believe I heard from Mary and also the other guys, sorry I missed yesterday, and they talk about to listen more, which is really important. However, today I want to address something that is even more important, and is, Nelson Mandela. He's a world best leader, and who's a son of a tribal chief. He shared a story of his father, because his father is also a very successful leader. And that's one thing he learned from his father. Every morning, his father will gather all the people and sit around. And there's one thing which is really interesting his father does. He is always the last one to speak. Because it's in their organizations, CEOs, sometimes I still make this mistake, guys. I would say, okay, we're going to talk about this, and then now let's take turn to speak about it, right? But sometimes when we start to speak, it takes it doesn't help them to be authentic, to share, because you already kind of lead them to your direction. You couldn't hear the things that you're supposed to hear authentically from them. And from Nelson Mandela, he shared that this secret. And if you be the last one to speak, you'll be so surprised that there will be so many things, the inside wisdom and information that you can hear from all the people around the table. And I tried. It's really working, guys. If you haven't tried this yet, try to listen and be the last one to speak. Not be the first one, be the last one. And the best thing about this as well is, if you agree with somebody, don't just say yes. Or if you disagree with somebody, don't just say no, because you will, like Mary and you guys just talking about the conflicts, and it's never, there's never really winning or losing. we all have kind of different point of view, and that's how beautiful it is when it comes together. When you're open to ideas, to different opinions, it helps to shape a better future. And that's why Lesson and Be the Last to Speak really helps you to be more open and transparent to different opinions, and that really will help you to build up your leadership skills as well. So that's the second tip I want to share with you. Now, the third one is, this is quite a harsh one, guys. There's no bad employees, only unwise leaders. Well, some might not agree with me, but you know what I found is sometimes, yes, we'll face a lot of different challenges about different kind of people because of their background, culture, and what happened to them in life. But if we can be really a good leader, we are willing to take time to understand about things. The best leaders know how to dig out the best hunger and potential for their employees, and sometimes can even solve their problem, not just about the work, about their life as well. I have experienced a lot of cases like that, and in my current company, I got so many staff that they truly are transformed since the day they came in. They didn't believe in themselves. They were worried. They were not confident, and now they can speak in front of people, and they're much more different, and they're transformed, guys. So that means we can transform lives. It's not that we're trying to change someone or force them to change. It's more that we are encouraging and empowering, as well as also giving them opportunity to believe in themselves, and then asking great questions so they can think about, oh, wow, actually I can do better and I can do this. So leadership is like parenting to me. I think parenting, if you haven't got kids yet, you will experience parenting always number one or number two in the world, that people are saying, oh, when it comes to parenting, it's a headache. It's not easy to deal with kids, right? But parenting is a choice. So to be a leader or not is a choice, because you can choose not to have a baby, but you can choose to have a baby. But then when you have a baby, it's yours. You take all the responsibility. You have to take up your children, and it's going to be very hard. There's going to be time they say no, no, no all the time. There's going to be time they'll be naughty, but you still need to love your children. You need to still keep being the role as a parent. That's why being a leader is kind of like that. If you, there's a funny story, people are saying, okay, you gave birth to a baby, and some moms are talking to each other. I wish I can put the baby back to my tummy. That'll be even easier, right? Because it's too much headache. But we can't do that, guys. It's like you can't, the baby's already on this world with you. You cannot just send them back to your tummy. It doesn't work like that. So remember, there's no bad employees, but only unwise leaders. Take responsibility for anything we do. Then you will be surprised how much how much resilience you have, and how much you can find in yourself, how much potential as a leader. Because when you take responsibilities, there's no excuses. The next one I want to share is in charge of your, there's a CEO saying, someone's asking him, and what's your main job, right? As a CEO, the CEO said, well, my job is to take care of my clients. But then we don't agree with that. Why? Because CEO's job is to take care of your people, then your people can take care of your clients. This is very important, guys, because if you think you're taking care of your clients, no one's going to take care of your clients for you anymore, and the business is going to run you. You're not going to run the business, because it's all about you serve your team, then your team can serve your clients. And that's also reflecting. There's a lot of experiences I heard that when some clients are calling someone can be like so frustrated because they feel insecure in the company. They're not taken care of by their leaders. And then the clients will be affected immediately. Your business will be affected. And if you want your business to thrive, number one thing to focus is how to take care of your people. Because if your people are taken care of, they're going to run things for you even better than you can imagine. And you can also focus more on the other things, on your leadership skills or taking care of your other big decisions and things. So remember, it's never about in charge of your business or clients, but instead in charge of your people as a leader. Now, the next point is very, very important. I got this story. As you know, it's all relationship games in our life, whether it's with your partner, with your children. with your colleagues. It's all about relationships, right? So this tip is truly important because there's a story, I think, on the TED Talk. There's a couple, they're sharing this, and it's truly, I really agree with them. So they got married. They were really happy, honeymoon, honey, like for each other, like so tolerant when you're in the honeymoon time and period. And when it comes to the moment, then they start to have a lot of fights already just because of one small thing. You know, the toothpaste, right? Toothpaste. One is a squisher. They like squish it. One is a roller. They want to roll the toothpaste, right? It's so silly. Because of that, they fight every single day. They shout, why did you don't love me? And it went up to really serious, guys. And then they realized there's one thing that's missing. If you wanted to thrive in leadership or in any relationship, you need to remember this tip, and it's going to save your relationship, is you always need to do connection before correcting, right? Connecting before correcting. So if you want to really lead your team, you need to connect with them first. Connect with them isn't saying, I'm the boss, I lead you, you listen to me. That's not connecting. Connecting is like, sometimes I share my struggles with my team, right? Because when you are vulnerable, people sees you more real, and you're connecting with them because we're all humans, right? So when you connect with them, they trust you more. You bring that authenticity, and then you correct them. Say, hey, I understand that. However, this one, I got experience like this. Maybe you can try, right? Give them like some suggestions, and they will be like, oh yeah, thank you so much. That's really helpful because you connect with them first. And that I learned hard time, guys. If I didn't spend time with my kids enough, when I ask them to do one thing, they're going to say no, no, no all the time. But if I spend an hour or even like high quality time with them, when I ask them to do one thing, in less than a second, my children are going to run. Yes, mom. Like mission, like you are the madam, you are the police officer. They just listen to you immediately. So connecting before correcting is really important as a leader. If you don't use that, you will be really suffering sometimes. You're like, why they're not listening to me? Because you're not connecting with them enough. So that's why the team bonding and games, whatever, regularly, or even maybe it's their birthday, you should just to recognize them and to thank them, whatever that is, will really make a difference in your leadership career. And the next one is when it comes to address the problem, sometimes as a leader, is it too much to, well, there are two different extreme examples. One is like they're too harsh, right? The bossy, right? Listen to me. You have to listen to me, boss, and not the leader. But there's another side of leaders. They are too soft. They're like, I don't want to point out. I'm worried about what they think about me, and they will be like, I'm not going to work with you anymore. And this kind of fear or doubts in their mind. So there's a skill that we can learn, and it's well known in this world. If you read books, international best-selling books and stuff like that, it says about it. And I conclude into two words. It's feedback sandwiches, right? Feedback sandwiches. So there are 3 steps when you start to address a concern with your team or anyone in life. In fact, even if you want to address that to your friends or talk to anyone in your life, this can be really helpful. So the number one thing, you start with recognitions, right? You don't just go, hey, I'll just take Gilbert as an example because I know Gilbert personally. So, hey, Gilbert, why did you do that? Why didn't you do well, right? It was like, oh, this is not good. Like, it's going to be a disaster, this conversation. But if you actually say, hey, Gilbert, how's it going? First of all, I really appreciate that you are so patient. You're so amazing helping to build up this community and whatever I want to say, Gilbert. And then the second step is I'm going to point out the issue. However, I found there's something we are missing, and I think this might be something we can look at. What do you think, right, Gilbert? And I will ask the question and point out, and indirectly. I'm not just saying, hey, this is what you need to do. Trust me, in this world, nobody likes taking orders. They only like probably listen to advices, but they're not going to take orders. So don't try to give orders to anyone when you try. So say it indirectly and ask questions. Hey, what do you think? Do you think there's an issue here you can improve? Do you think? And let them think. And that'll be really helpful. And then after the issue is addressed, because remember it's a sandwiches, right? You go last, say, again, thank you so much, recognition again, right? Thank you so much for being willing to find out this issue and to be willing to change, right? Whatever that is. And that's going to be really helpful, guys. If you haven't tried this yet, if next time when you need to talk to someone that you've been thinking, I don't want to have this hard conversation, but to be a successful leader, having a hard conversation is really, really important. It's a life-changing habit. So you need to remember the sandwich, okay? Recognition, point out the issue, and the recognition again. They're never going to hate you. They're going to love you more when you do that, okay? So the next one, number 7, is tackle the problem, not the people. So sometimes we tend to say, what is wrong with you, right? When someone does something wrong, the first impression is like, what is wrong with you? You're attacking their personality and attacking them as a person. And we, instead of saying that, maybe let's try to say something different next time. You can say, what's troubling you? What's bothering you? When you say that, you don't attack them. They'll be like, oh, yeah. And in fact, they appreciate you because they feel you care about them instead of you attacking them. So remember, don't attack anyone's identity, or we need to tackle the problem, not the identity. This is really something I learned in my 20 plus years leadership career. I realized, wow, sometimes I didn't pay attention because it's just a habit. I say, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? What's going on with you? Something like that. I was like, oh, if someone says that to me, I feel also a bit, not that comfortable. But if someone say, hey, what's troubling you? I said, oh, let's look for the reason, not about what's wrong. It's all about complaining. So yeah, that's number 7, tackle the problem, not the people. And number 8 is a mentorship. In fact, sometimes we got people, like for me, I got a team. Sometimes I train them a lot. I mentor them. But sometimes I was so busy and do something else. I forgot that I haven't make it consistent. So mentorship is a long life journey, which marry your Glow network. You got this beautiful video just played. And it's true that everybody needs, a place to live, ocean. I mean, the ship needs ocean, the container needs a ship, that kind of thing. I remember. And everyone needs a mentorship. And that's why I'm also a coach myself. I coach entrepreneurs. I coach leaders in the industry. Some of them are amazing leaders already, but they still need coach, right? They still need mentorship. So how about your team? Everyone needs a mentorship. So remember, you are the leader and you have the responsibility to mentor them, inspire them, educate them, empower them. And your role isn't just doing what they do and micromanage what they do. It's to inspire, educate, and empower. That's your job. And that's why I highly recommend, if you are running a company right now, weekly training is a must. Even sometimes daily is good, 50 minutes a day, that's great, but it depends on your time. Weekly training, it's a must. If you train, like Gilbert shared that story, the girl on the phone, she doesn't even know some basic things. And the client's like, what? Okay. So service, right? Professional. You have service, but you're not professional enough because you don't even know what I'm talking about. So this is something you need to focus, because if you don't focus on it, people just, that's why we have a mission here, guys. We want to make a difference for the future. So it starts from who? Start from us. If we're not even doing it, how are we expecting others are doing it, right? So that's my belief. I start from myself. I always start from myself, leading by example. Now the next one tips is being authentic and real. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. The best leaders hire the best people. You don't need to know how to do everything by yourself. You do need to know how to take care of yourself. Who knows how to take care of everything for you? Like I think Mary or Gilbert, you mentioned, but you're not good at computer or AI, whatever that is. I hate, not hate. I'm an AI embracer, but when it comes to something like set up some system, whatever, I don't like it. Like CargoWise, people will love it, but I don't like it. I know I can learn everything, but that's when the team comes up, right? You guys, you're the expert, you do it, but I will support you if you need me. So sometimes you need to show them, hey, this is not my strength. You can do it, right? You don't have to know everything, because sometimes because you feel like, oh, if I'm not showing that I know this, will they judge me as a leader? Will they think that I'm not powerful enough? No, they won't, because we the more authentic you are, the more real you are. In fact, it's more powerful. You're going to influence them, empower them, encourage them. Hey, I'm more helpful for my boss, for my leader, and they'll be more willing to find solutions for you. If you know everything, tell them what to do, everything. That's called micromanagement. It's completely wasting your time. Why do you even need to hire someone to do it, right? So remember, being authentic and real, it's really important as a leader as well. We don't have to wear a mask to pretend it's okay when it's not okay. Because when we are truly willing to face the reality and being authentic, you will see the power that will be unfolded in your life. And the last one, but not the least, is this is something I really learned as well, is because I'm always a very caring leader, I would say. I do care people a lot. But when it comes to boundary, I sometimes can forget. If you don't have a clear boundary, there's also no performance, guys, because as a leader, if you just say, hey, you can do whatever, and I care about you, just do whatever you can. Yeah, that's great. You encourage them, empower them. But sometimes we need performance, right? You're running a business, you're running a company. You cannot just keep saying yes to everything. You cannot just be the people pleaser, because then there will be no performance. That is why we need to have clear boundaries when it comes to being a leader. Clear boundaries, including sometimes, for example, we run this weekly call and daily call, sometimes check in. The one we run on Friday, sometimes the colleagues can be making jokes. Oh yeah, because they're so used to me. But I said to them, hey guys, I love you guys, but when it comes to we talk about business, let's be serious about business. When it comes to, you need to be very clear, have communication with them, because when you're not professional enough, then you won't get result either. And in saying that, the best thing I learned is clear KPI. Yes, I saw lots of posts on LinkedIn saying, oh, no need to set up KPI. KPI is nothing. It's truly about the other stuff. But if you don't have a KPI, you can only base on your feelings to judge their team, right? Because when they truly make it effort, yeah, great. But then what about the performance? And you all have the same goal. You want to run a great company, and you want to achieve dreams together. That is why KPI, it is important, but you don't have to be unreasonable. The KPI is like a number that you can measure. You don't need to fight anyone because of KPI, but KPI can help your team to move towards that goal, and they will be better than they thought. And it's actually a very good, I would say, injector to get them really motivated. Oh, I have the goal I need to achieve. I want to do more today. Not because you asked them, because they know they have a goal they want to achieve. So yeah, that's the last one. And thank you so much for having me to share this insights, Mary. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristy. Amazing. And it only takes a leader to talk about her or his past and to be proud of it. And we are really proud to have you today. Really, I'm so humbled to have you with us. And I really, again, and repeat, and I appreciate the difference of time and the energy of the leader in you, because you are talking so much energetic, and the real leader in you is talking. And yes, leadership is about to take the inner potential of every person and being compassionate and professional in the same time. We walk together and we will grow with glow. Thank you, Kristy. I can't say nothing anymore, but really, really thank you, because the leader in you is talking amazing. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mary. I just forgot one last thing I want to share is life is a stage, and we are all the main characters of your own life. And so be the authentic leader and the joyful leader of yourself is to be the director of your own movie. You are all the characters of your own movie. You're the director. You decide your way. So make a great choice of your life. And yeah, thank you so much, Mary, again.
Thank you, Kristy. We are always the authors of our own book, and the chapter. Yeah, I believe in that big time. Thank you, Kristy. Really, we enjoyed the session and what you were speaking in your speech. So it was amazing. And see you again, of course, because really our audience will miss this kind of leadership session. Thank you.